Jai Hind friends, I'm Major Gauravari and you're watching the latest news of the day. Now, Adani Ports, which is a Gautam Adani company, has just decided or signed a deal with the Vietnamese government to create a new port, a greenfield project in Vietnam. And today I'm going to tell you why it is so important for India and what we must as Indians think about this growing global Indian power. Which are the Indian business houses now? This is a place called Da Nang in Vietnam, and Gautam Adani, in his expanding global port operations, has decided to build a port, a state-of-the-art port in Vietnam, and this is a venture by Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited and has received in-principle approval from the government of Vietnam. Now, why is this important? Because this is the fourth international port that Gautam Adani will be building / owning. Now, he's already done one in Haifa, Israel, you know. Haifa has got historical value for the Indians. There was the great Battle of Haifa, fought against the Ottoman Empire, which is now Turkey. This was during the time of the First World War. After that, we have the Colombo port. More about this later. And Dar es Salaam, Tanzania port. So after Haifa, Colombo and Dar es Salaam, now you have Da Nang port, and Da Nang port is in Vietnam. So he's going to create a greenfield project. There is nothing out there. He's going to build the port from scratch. Now you'll wonder, why is Gautam Adani spending so much of money, investing so much of money in these massive scale operations across the world? How does Gautam Adani gain? What does India gain? Why is it important for you and I? And why are we discussing this today? So friends, there are a couple of things that we must consider. First of all, you see, global trade basically moves through the water. This is not to say that there is no trade happening overland. This is not to say that it does not happen on tracks, train tracks, or through the air. Of course it does. There is no doubt about that. But here's the thing. A very large volume of global trade is on the waters. And he who controls the ports controls global trade. Now, this is exactly what Gautam Adani wants to do. Here, I'm also going to talk about this Indian port, and then I'll go back to the Sri Lankan port and the Tanzanian port, etc. But here, Vizinjam is a port in southern India, and Gautam Adani has, not only started work but finished work. And this is a seriously deep water port where, the deepest shipping channels of the world, some of the deepest shipping channels of the world are there, and big cargo ships are docking there. And this is really, really very important. It's going to put India on the global maritime trade map, because you need such ports if you are to succeed. And Gautam Adani has successfully done this for the Vizinjam port in South India. Apart from this, it was supposed to reach the capacity currently at an initial plan of 300 million TEUs. It was to go to 5 million TEUs by 2045. So from 3 million TEUs to 5 million TEUs, it was supposed to go till 2045. But Gautam Adani put in more than $2.5 billion. He said, I'm putting in $2.5 billion. And I want this timeline from 2045 to be brought to 2028. So you can imagine, he has advanced the timelines by literally 17 years almost, just by putting in almost $2.5 billion more. So this is the vision of the man. He's going all out. And so first, I have my notes here. And in 2021, Adani Ports won the bid to develop and operate the Haifa port in Israel for 25 years. And this was seen as a move to counter China's presence in the nearby Ashdod port. So China also wanted the Haifa port. China already has the Ashdod port. They wanted the Haifa port. Gautam Adani stepped in, outbid China, got that port for India. Huge, massive victory, not just for trade and commerce, but also a strategic victory over China. That is one. Number two, and Haifa has now become an important component of the India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor. So there is a corridor that connects India to Europe, and literally India to Western Europe, and it starts from Mumbai. But from Mumbai till Israel, where Haifa port is, it will now be owned by an Indian. You see, this is the piece that we are looking for. This is the hidden piece that we are looking for. This is the piece that says that, okay, India has its presence, of course, in India. We are not dependent upon any outside country to operate ports for us. And not only this, not only are we operating ports in India, we are also operating ports, abroad in so many other countries. Apart from this, in the port of Colombo, China had the East Container Terminal. The Colombo port is a big-time port, a very prestigious project for the Sri Lankan government and the Sri Lankan people. So the East Container Terminal was with China, and China also wanted the West Container Terminal. Huge mega project. And if China had the East and West Container Terminals, China would absolutely rule that area. In comes Gautam Adani, outbids China, and today the West Container Terminal is with India. East remains with China. Of course, it was there with China in the first place, but the West is now with India. It is with Adani Ports. Therefore, India, through a private entity, controls that port. Now, the 700 million built, operate, transfer deal was the largest foreign investment ever in the port sector of the island nation. And also in that island nation, that is Sri Lanka, Adani signed MOUs to build 500 megawatts of renewable energy projects in Punerian and Mannar, other northern districts close to India. So this is north of Sri Lanka, right up there on the top, near to India, 500 megawatts renewable energy projects. This is what they're doing. And of course, in 2022, I've already mentioned, Adani signed an agreement with the Tanzanian government to develop and operate the Bagamoyo port near Dar es Salaam. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why is this important? You'll say that, Major, these are private companies. How does it matter to us as common Indians? Whether Ambani does it or Adani does it, how does it matter? These people are making their money. No. It's not that simple. When you go abroad, right, and when you put your footprints all over the world, it is India's prestige, that really grows. And we must always understand this. We are too caught up in this whole psyche of, he's a crony capitalist and he's a crony cap. It doesn't work like that. I'll give you a few examples, ladies and gentlemen, and you'll be really surprised. If you see the American president, whoever is the American president who comes to India, whether it's Joe Biden, whether it's Barack Obama before him, or, or Trump or Bill Clinton, or whoever came to India before that, all of them had one single agenda. Of course, there was the nuclear deal and this deal and that deal. But at the end of the day, what they came here for was business. Business. Essentially, world leaders, especially European world leaders, right? Especially European world leaders, they are salesmen and they sell goods of their country whenever they go abroad. So the French president comes to India and he says, you must buy more Rafales. Now, it's very simple. Now, if you're thinking from the crony capitalism perspective, you'll say, Dassault Aviation manufactures the Rafale jets. Dassault Aviation is a private company. When I say private company, I mean it's not owned by the government of France. And then you'll say, Major, why in God's name will the French president fly all the way to India to sell the goods of a privately owned company? That doesn't make sense. Well, here's news for you. Why should the American president try and sell drones to India? And India bought 31 of them for $4 or $5 billion. That was the quantum of the arrangement or the deal with the Americans. 31 drones armed with Hellfire missiles, the latest, the best in the world. They're manufactured by a company called General Atomics, and General Atomics is a private company. Why should the American president take interest? Today, the American government is trying to sell F-21s, which is an upgraded F-16 platform with the avionics and the other radar and so many other things taken from 5th generation fighters like the F-22 and of the F-35. They are saying, please buy these jets. They are state of the art. We'll transfer 100% technology to India. It will be a completely Make in India initiative. It will be an Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative, and India is going to manufacture in India and sell to the world. And the American government is saying it. You'll be surprised because the F-21 is made by Lockheed Martin. And Lockheed Martin is a private player. It's not manufactured. Lockheed Martin is not owned by the government of the United States. But every government does that. You see, my whole idea of making this video is, let us come out of this conspiracy theory of crony capitalism. I'm sure crony capitalism exists. I'm sure it does. I'm not saying it does not exist, but I'm saying that when a company like Tata goes abroad and acquires another foreign company, right? Let us say a Jaguar, it enhances India's prestige. It enhances India's strategic reach, right? When Indian companies set up ports outside, like Adani Port, it enhances our prestige. When a Reliance goes abroad and does business, or an Airtel says, we are going to set up towers and we are going to give mobile communication in the deepest parts of Central Africa, it enhances our prestige and our reach into those regions. It means big business for India. It means more money. It means more prestige. It means more diplomatic negotiation power. Not just diplomatic power, but diplomatic negotiation power. It means better geopolitics for India. It means all of that. So let us look at this from that perspective. Thank you for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, press the like button. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another fresh video. Till then, Jai Hind.